Leaving a child in the hands of a perfect stranger is one of the most difficult things a parent must do. Just ask Whitney Matney and her husband Chris from Springdale, Arkansas. They had no choice but to leave their 11-month-old baby, Raylee, in the hands of a nanny. But when the baby's behavior changed, the couple set up a nanny cam to further investigate. And what they discovered left them completely horrified. Hello, wonderful people. I'm Scott Leffler for WonderBot. And here is, when her baby started acting strange, this mom set up a hidden camera to find out why. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Everyone knows that children act up, especially when they're young. But Whitney and Chris Matney started noticing that their 11-month-old daughter, Raylee, was acting really strange. Matney couldn't help but imagine every possible scenario that would explain why her baby was so distraught. "I'm just being a crazy first-time mom," she reassured herself. But sadly, she was very much mistaken. The Matneys jumped for joy when they first brought their daughter home from the hospital. She was healthy, lively, and most importantly, happy. However, like most children, she took up a lot of her parents' time, and this was an issue that would set their daughter on a course towards serious trouble. At first, the couple didn't mind waking up at odd hours of the night to feed her, burp her, and change her, but the Matneys had other responsibilities that made watching over Raylee a real challenge, especially for the little girl's mother, who was in law school. Matney was in law school, which meant she had to sift through endless books, documents, and cases. She had to focus solely on her studies in order to pass the bar exam. But she had a child now, and her husband could only do so much to help her. What was she going to do? Raylee was only a month away from her first birthday, and she was a handful. But Matney had a lot on her plate, and her husband was a pretty busy guy, so the two of them made a decision that would have horrible repercussions for their family. In fact, Matney later told ABC News 2020, "You see these horror stories on TV, and it's like a surreal feeling when it happens to you." In October 2012, the couple decided that they needed a nanny. Matney posted a request on Facebook, and someone answered her call right away. It wasn't a stranger either, which seemed like a blessing at the time. But Matney eventually realized she couldn't have been more wrong. The woman who responded was Melissa Madema. She was one of Matney's old high school classmates. She responded, "I'm very interested. Do you mind if I meet with you?" A distraught Matney told ABC News. She was excited, but a part of her was suspicious. So she did what any good mother would do. Matney found some comfort in the fact that Madema was an old acquaintance of hers, but she wanted to make sure that she didn't have a criminal record. So she ran a background check and had a chat with one of her references. Everything checked out, but that didn't mean there weren't any issues. Matney had no reason to doubt Madema's intentions, so she set up a meeting with Raylee, and the two of them hit it off right away. Madema talked to the baby and played with her, so Matney decided to hire her friend. But it wasn't long before strange things started happening. Raylee's behavior changed from the first day that Madema started working as the family's nanny. The day Melissa started working there, when I crossed the threshold into her bedroom, she just started screaming. And I just thought, she's tired, she's getting sick, Matney told ABC News. But something more sinister was happening that Matney was completely unaware of. There were other warning signs that made Matney very suspicious. Madema claimed that Raylee napped for 4 hours straight when she was caring for her. But Matney knew that was virtually impossible. She would sleep an hour, hour and a half, never 4 hours, she told ABC News. Then a frightening thought popped into her head. What if the nanny was giving her baby medicine to make her sleep? Matney feared that Madema was giving Raylee Benadryl to knock her out. But then she thought she was just being a paranoid first-time mom, so she pushed the feeling away. But she couldn't help but notice that her baby would run and grab onto her or her father whenever Madema arrived. So in a panic, Matney turned to a higher power for guidance. A doctor told Matney that Raylee's behavior was the result of separation anxiety. But that wasn't the only thing that was raising red flags. Whenever Madema would babysit, she would leave the house spotless, which Matney knew from experience was really difficult to do while taking care of Raylee. So about 6 weeks later, she decided to take more aggressive actions. This time, she'd do anything in her power to find out what was going on. Matney bought a clock radio nanny cam and placed it in the living room. "I put up this camera thinking maybe she's leaving her and her bouncer a little too long," she told ABC News. But when she got home, she saw that the camera was facing the wall. Luckily for Mom, there was still some footage that had been captured. But after Matney started reviewing the tape, she was left horrified. As Matney started the footage, she realized that her nanny had left Raylee and her bouncer for 2 hours. But her heart sank when she saw Madema spanking her baby and shaking her violently. Her maternal instincts immediately kicked in. Pretty soon, the nanny would be the one crying and screaming. There's a level of crazy that exists in a mother that you don't know is there, Matney told ABC News. She called the police immediately after watching the footage. Then she took Raylee to the emergency room. Fortunately, she was okay. Now it was time for Madema to pay for what she'd done. 2 days later, Madema arrived at their house and was ready for work, and the police were there to apprehend her right away. But Matney was still overwhelmed with feelings of guilt for introducing her daughter to such a terrible threat. It's like a surreal feeling when it happens to you, Matney told ABC News 2020. Deep down inside, she knew it was always a possibility, but she never imagined that something so horrible could happen to her family until she saw the footage.